Have you ever wondered what might be inside CFO's funeral box? At the end of episode 2, we saw the characters gather for KMO's funeral. Ratha told Pomni that they always hold a funeral service to remember those who have abstracted, and Kerr mentioned that it's the least they can do to honor their memory. We saw them standing next to a yellow box with KMO's picture on top, but we never got to see what was inside. It's possible that CFO's body is inside the box. We know that KMO had abstracted and turned into a monster, but we don't fully understand how abstraction works yet. In KMO's case, he became obsessed with the exit door, as evidenced by the paintings all over his room depicting it.
It's an all-new episode of the Amazing Digital Circus. The funny circus gang takes a trip to the deliciously delectable Candy Canyon Kingdom.
And even showing himself abstracting in the future. However, we don't know exactly how he abstracted or how long it took. It's possible that when characters reach their breaking point, something emerges from their bodies, transforming into a large abstraction with eyes all over it. This might mean the abstracted character's body remains behind while their abstracted data, or personality, becomes the abstraction, causing chaos because they've gone mad. This could explain why the character—
And scene! It's gonna be a sickly sweet old time! I'll see you there!
I still don't really know anything about this episode, and I've been teleported to a meat freezer.
Characters hold funerals to move the body out of the circus and not leave it in their rooms. If this is true, where was CFO's body? We saw his room in episode 1 and only saw his abstracted version. Perhaps his clown body was hidden somewhere in the room, like under the bed, though it might not fit there. Maybe the abstraction, representing KMO's data, destroyed the body and threw it around the room.
Sounds like a real radiant riot, right, Bubble?
Huh? Where am I?
What's wrong, Bubble? Why are you acting like you don't know who I am?
What? I asked where I was, not who you are. Also,
making it land somewhere out of sight. Alternatively, Kane might have known KMO had abstracted and moved the body elsewhere. When Kane sarcastically says, KMO abstracted, why didn't anybody tell me? It suggests he knew about it and possibly teleported the body away. This implies that Kane takes care of the bodies of abstracted characters each time.
Also, I'm not Bubble. What's happening?
It's called improv, Pomni. The first rule of improv is to never pretend you're not Bubble.
What does this have to do with the Candy Canyon Kingdom?
And scene! It's gonna be a sickly sweet—
leaving their abstracted versions for the circus members to find. This seems cruel, given how much pain abstracted characters experience. What if someone abstracted around other people? Would they go berserk and try to destroy everything, making others abstract as well? What happens if they abstract during an adventure without Kane there to supervise? We don't know yet, but hopefully we'll learn more in future episodes. Zubal prepared everything for the funeral, so if KMO's clown body was in the box, she must have dragged it from the dorm hall all the way down the stairs, which seems unlikely. More plausibly, the box contains KMO's belongings. Zubal might have gone through his room while the others were on the candy carrier adventure, gathering his favorite personal items to put in the box, making it more personalized. In KMO's room, we saw toys and a music box, suggesting he loved music. This would be a fitting tribute in his memorial box. I hope we learn more about KMO in the next episodes, perhaps through a small flashback or a mention by other characters. Gooseworks mentioned that KMO was originally intended to be part of the main cast, so there may be pre-written parts for him that could be shared through a flashback episode. It's possible we'll see an episode focused on KMO, given that there are 9 episodes, each centering on 1 or 2 circus members. Episode 1 introduced Pomni and the characters, Episode 2 focused on Gummy Goo and Pomni, and Episode 3 will be about Zubal and possibly Gangle. Episode 4 could be about JX, Episode 5 about Kinger, Episode 6 about Raga, Episode 7 about KMO, Episode 8 about Pomni, and the final episode about everyone. If not KMO, perhaps Kane or Bubble will be the focus, though a Bubble episode seems unlikely. KMO's relationships were complex. Raged wasn't laughing at his jokes, suggesting they weren't on good terms, similar to Gangle, who hoped he wasn't still mad at her for not laughing at his jokes. Despite this, they cared enough to hold a funeral, showing the importance of relationships in the circus. This theme might be explored further, especially with Pomni's obsession with the exit and her existential crisis. KMO's abstraction might have been caused by his own feelings of meaninglessness, not because the circus members didn't care about him, but because he thought they didn't. This mirrors Pomni's experience and realization that people do care, despite circumstances making it hard to feel that way. KMO might have seen the exit door, or at least believed he did, and perhaps Cain stopped him from escaping. This might have driven KMO to isolate himself and focus obsessively on the exit, leading to his abstraction. We don't know how new KMO was to the circus. Zubal is the most recent newcomer, except for Pomni, and Kinger has been there the longest. If KMO joined shortly before Pomni, his quick abstraction would make sense. KMO's body might be in the cellar with other abstractions, where Cain sends them to prevent trouble for the circus members. The characters with X's crossed out in the dorm hall might indicate those who are in the cellar. This means all non-existent circus members have had their funerals, with their boxes possibly buried outside the grounds as graves. However, we haven't seen much outside the circus yet, though future episodes might explore the digital carnival and lake. The most likely scenario is that KMO's belongings are in the box, which was then placed in his room, barring anyone from entering. Let me know in the comments what you think is inside CFO's funeral box. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and click on this video here. Let's dive deeper into what might be in CFO's funeral box. Considering the importance of this ritual for the circus members, it's plausible that they fill the box with items that represent the individual's life and personality, rather than just their physical remains. In KMO's room, we notice several personal items scattered around, like toys and a music box, which likely held sentimental value for him. These objects could have been collected by Zubal and placed in the box to honor KMO's memory. It's also possible that other significant items, such as drawings, letters, or small mementos from KMO's time with the circus, were included. This would provide a more meaningful tribute, celebrating who KMO was, rather than focusing solely on his tragic end. Understanding KMO's character further helps unravel the mystery. Gooseworks mentioned that KMO was intended to be a main character, so there's a rich backstory to explore. A flashback episode could reveal his relationships, his dreams, and what ultimately led to his abstraction. Seeing these elements play out would give us a clearer picture of how abstractions occur and why they are so devastating. In future episodes, we might see more detailed explanations about the abstracting process. How does it start? Is there a point of no return? If someone starts abstracting around others, can they be stopped or helped?